All right, so I've been getting a lot of messages, not nice ones, but it's fine. Everybody's got an opinion, okay? But what I'm going to show you today is going to pretty much just, you know, really solidify what I'm trying to make people understand. So, the old school thought, swing down, use your hands, you know, and then today's rotational, swing up and do all that. All right, let's just get into this so we can really understand how this works. All right, so we have LeMahieu here, and I want you to really understand something. Okay, people don't say you swing down. I'm gonna show you how his hands are right now. Right now, his hands are gonna move. They're gonna move down, and he's tracking the ball right now with his hands. Tracking with his hands, because when he finds the ball with his hands, you will always be at level playing, because when you get to level playing, you use your top hand. So front hand finds it, top hand hits it. So we can put a mark right here on his hands, and we can see that he throws his hands forward to hit. Okay? That's it. Right? That's it. But you got to track with your hands. Right? So you're tracking with your hands, and then you hit. Okay? I don't see him swinging up there. I don't see any of that. I see him understanding how to use his hands to hit. So let's go to another. Let's go to here. Okay? So we got Soto, and he's going to go ahead and track. Okay? He's tracking with his hands right now, because when he gets to flat plane, that's when the inversion starts, because he starts throwing his top hand. So we know right here, his front arm is lined up with that. So now he can start throwing the top hand through the ball. Okay, that's it. Let's watch this one. All right, hands start here. Okay, hands start here. Now he's tracking with his hands. He's not trying to rotate and spin him around his body and then throw it. He's actually just tracking with his hands. His body has nothing to do with it. He's just in a good position with his hips being open and his body staying closed when he starts to throw his hands. So you get good hip and shoulder separation. But notice where he's at now, okay? He's on flat plane, okay? That's when inversion starts, because you hit with your top hand. And there you go. You hit, okay? So, do you use your hands? Do you swing down? Absolutely, because down is the strike zone. Okay, it's that simple. Let's go to another hitter. All right, here's Roberto Clemente, one of the best of all time. He's a tall, stacking guy. Mitch Belusky, awesome use of barrel integrity. I love it. Just not behind his body. He's got good barrel integrity, even though he's tall. He's an arm bar guy. But notice what he does when he gets to plane. So his hands were tracking, right? They were tracking. Oh, there's plane. He's met plane, so now he's going to throw his top hand. And there he goes, throwing it through the baseball. Okay, simple, right? So his hands went down and he went forward. Here's another one, okay? So at this point, you track with your hands. You're tracking. All this movement right here with his hands is tracking. So if you don't think you use your hands and you're going down to the ball and you're tracking, and then when you get to level plane and you throw your top hand, I don't care if your bat is moving down like this. Look what his hands are doing. They're moving forward. Okay? So let's get to more of these. Okay? He hasn't found plane here. He's still tracking to find it. Now he gets to level plane, so we know that if he's a good hitter, he's going to throw his hands forward, and he throws them forward to hit. Done. We got another one. Look at this lower plane. He has to drop his hands down. He gets to level plane, so we know from this point he's going to start throwing his top hand forward. Look at that. Even though his back arm is in a lower, the bone is pointing in a downward position, he still has to try to move them directly forward to hit. That's using your hands. Here's another one. So now we get to here, and we're going to get to, he's finding the ball with his hands. He's going to get to level plane where he starts to feel inversion. And his hands are going to go forward. That's it, right? This is it. This is the swing. I don't care what height pitch it is. You got Freeman. He's going to go down and go get this ball. He's going to use his hands to go down. There he is. He's got this downward movement, and there's plane. And he's going to send his hands forward. Your top hand hits the ball. You use your hands. You go down to the ball. I don't know how else to explain it. Okay, so look, he's going down. He's at plane, so we know from here he throws his top hand. He likes where he's at. Boom. Even a changeup. He was still right. He just moved out in front and got to it. Now here's a good one, so you guys really understand how this works. He's going to take his hands down. He's tracking with his hands. You use your hands to hit. Where is he at? He's at level plane, right? He's at level plane right here. Now he's going to use his hands to hit. Where are they going to go? They got to go forward. So from that mark, he took his hands forward. Or his hands in a down back arm and a bone in a downward position? Yeah, but he still moved his hand forward, right? That's it. Look at the short. He only gets so much. This is such a, he has to go down and go get this ball. That his swing plane, he has this really short area because it's such a low pitch. That's why low pitches, you got to be good at them, because if you're not right, you just don't have a lot of room to work unless you have more mobility in your spine where you can kind of move your body just a little bit more to help compensate, that tracking process. So that I would agree with on certain guys, but it's not necessary, right? It's just not, because you use your hands to hit. Okay, here's Matt Marullo, good friend of mine. Notice what he's doing right here. He's tracking with his hands. He's tracking with them, right? So you can sit there and say, to the ball, not to the ball, whatever. Hands to the ball, all that. But Tony Gwynn was right when he's saying swing the knob, because you got to take your knob to the ball, and then you got to just know the distance between where your barrel is, the bat head is, and your hands. But he tracked his hands to the ball, and then he takes his top hand and he moves it forward and hits a bomb. Okay, let's keep going. This might be a long video, but I think we need to prove some things here so people understand that you use your hands to hit. Even Hunter Pence. So Hunter Pence has a really long swing, but at least, he used his hands, his top hand right. So he's moving through plane. He gets jammed because, when these guys have these long swings, it's going to be harder for you to make contact because you're not short enough. So those guys, have a shorter shelf life. Here's Chris Taylor. So he's going to get, he's unorthodox. Look at him twisting in. Like he's trying to learn the new school, but he still maintains his use of his top hand. So he's going to get to this point right here, and he's going to throw his hands forward. He throws his top hand forward. He's going to let it go. Okay? He's got that, he's got that swing that you need to use your top hand and hit. Here's Arenado. He's tracking with his hands. He's going to get to level plane. So we know he's at level plane. So we know that his hands are going to move flat and forward. And there we have it. He's moving them forward from there. He liked where he was at. So, let's just keep going because I got some others. Here's another Arenado, because it's a lower pitch. He has to track in a different position. So now his body is moved, but he used his hands to get down there. He's not necessarily just working on side bend to try to get to that point, because that's not everybody doesn't always have the mobility to do that. So you got to use your hands. What does he do? Sends him forward. Okay, let's go to the next guy. Here's Bonds, one of the best. He has that short stack swing once he gets to plane. We know from this point he's flat and he is going to go through the ball. Hand straight through it. Top hand hits it. Bottom hand finds it. Here's the front view where we can watch him tracking. So he's tracking with his hands right now. If you're going to sit there and tell me you don't go down to the ball to hit, I don't know how else to help you. But this is it. You got to track with your hands. So he gets to this point, front arm finds the ball, back hand delivers the blow. That's how simple the swing can be if you have great hand-eye coordination. You don't have to overdo it. Now let's go down here because, we've got 10 minutes of good swings. We see what's happening in the swing. Now this is what we fight. This is what I'm fighting. So he's in rotation to him. He's been learning how to hit with his rotation. His hands are tied into his rotation. So now he's at flat plane. So he should be delivering the blow with his top hand. Well, he never found it with his hands. So now his hands are moving upwards, and then he's going to try to spin in to hit. I'm sorry, but you're not going to see a big league guy do that. They're going to use their hands, and they're going to throw the top hand to the ball. It's that simple. So, this is the ongoing battle. This is what I have to sit there and change on kids so that they'll have more success with their hands as they get older. So here we go again. We got this. There's the flat plane. He should be throwing his hands. But instead, he's going to lift those hands, and he's in rotation to try to spin it in, and that's not right. It's not correct. And then you have guys like this who are going to sit there and tell you to do this. This guy right here is telling you, you need to do this to hit. This is it. You got to do this. And then he sits there and goes on and tells you that he has no clue how the swing works. He's going to sit there and tell you that this is incorrect. That's what he's sitting there telling you in this video, that you don't do this. Well, yeah, you do. You just got to get your body in a position that allows that to be square to your spine. So you don't stand straight up and down to hit. You don't. You're bent over. That's part of your posture. It's part of being athletic, right? And that's a different topic. But how you hit. See, he's saying get in your spine, but now he's saying twist. You seen a big leaguer do that yet in these videos? No, they're not. His pitch plane is here. He should be sending his hand forward, and instead he's going to spin it upwards. Sorry, incorrect. You're wrong. What you're teaching kids is there's no value in it. And then I have to watch, kids that, some kids that,